There's a strange kind of loneliness that only exists when you're constantly connected. Your group chats are buzzing, the notifications are lighting up your pocket. And still, there's a quiet sense that no one actually knows where or who you are. It's a great irony of our modern life. We've never been easier to reach, but never been harder to reach deeply. We're going to be discussing loneliness and the role of social media within that isolation and that solitude. So leaving your phone in another room doesn't just remove distraction, it removes visibility. For some people, that absence feels peaceful. For others, it's like they're slowly fading out of existence. Where do you sit on that, William? Where do you, listener, sit on that? Are you feeling peaceful? Are you feeling removed from visibility, from connection?
Yeah, I think the strongest connections I've ever made in life haven't been through social media. They've been in person. Mm-hmm. For example, I met you in person. I haven't started a podcast with anybody else. You know, I've met I have more reach to more people online than I ever have in my personal life. But it's the deep connections is where the value is. Surface level connections don't provide you any sort of deep support, which is basically the whole point of having the connection in the first place.
Do you think online connections can have the same deep meaning as face-to-face connections?
No.
Why not?
Now, I want to preface this is I get a lot of YouTube comments on the Will Taylor channel, and my whole philosophy has been if I give any weight to the positive comments in my life, I have to give equal weight to the negative comments. So it's easier for me to just not give weight to any comments.
Mm-hmm. Why do you have that rule, though? Because surely you can allow positives in to make you feel good and connected to people, but the negatives you can take with a pinch of salt.
I think, yeah. I think it's to do with validity. It's like I just question the validity of any YouTube comment. Like if somebody says I've got a good voice and I know that it didn't sound that good, like I don't believe it.
But it might have sounded good to them. Ultimately, they're living their life, you're living yours, and you're only judging the piece of work you've put out. And no one's going to judge that piece of work harder than you're going to judge that piece of work.
Well,
no one will ever judge you harder than you judge yourself.
I haven't told myself to jump off a bridge.
But I'd imagine the conversations you have with yourself are pretty damn stern. And I'm sure that comment made to jump off a bridge was fleeting. It was a snapshot in that person's day and they probably didn't think about it again.
Yeah. And that's what you think for the first one. And then you get 100 in a day and you're like, oh, you know, if this was a census, you know, we're getting pretty close to this having to be spoken about in Parliament at this point. That's all right. They don't, even with 3 million signatures, they don't talk about things in Parliament that they should.
Don't talk about anything in Parliament. They just argue, don't they?
Yeah. Not allowed to clap in Parliament. Do you know that?
Are you not?
No.
That's me out then. Clap everywhere I go.
Yeah. Or you look clapped everywhere you go.
Okay, moving on. So you don't think online connections can be as deep as in person?
No, I don't. And I do think as well, I think for some they can feel deep, but only whilst they're being supported and championed by the other person. I think a deep connection is when you go through the highs and the lows. So for example, you've seen me in real life as I was actively going through a breakup and actively dealing with the decision on should I go on holiday with her or not, and you advising me not to. And then I saw you go through your breakup. Well, sort of saw. You told me that you...
I was very isolated. I isolated myself during...
I think I reached out a couple of times.
You did, yeah.
Did I? Good for me.
Well done, me.
But those are the things that you don't... You get surface level of. You get snapshots, but you never can quite judge like how crafted is that post, how crafted is this message that the other person has sent me. Whereas in real life you can see the person, you have the visual and the audible representation of what it is that they're feeling.
So you're suggesting when people do either reach out or post something onto social media, it's a warped reality? Is that what you're suggesting?
Yeah.
Because you never quite know what the truth is behind the post or how they were feeling. It's just very much a glossed over reality.
Yeah, there's always a wall of trust that is up. Like you can't 100% trust. Like for example, if I tell you I've had a breakup, like you might be able to see, like if that's just a message, oh, I've broken up with X and X, then
And X, only two on the go. Okay.
yeah.
Double.
Yeah, that's it. It was a bad breakup.
For them, I would assume.
Obviously, yeah. But you could not tell. You can't get a sense of tone. But if I tell you in real life, you can probably see by my demeanor and by the way that my voice sounds that I might sound defeated, for example. And that's what you don't. And they're the cues. That
The social
matter.
cues,
Yeah.
the facial interactions, the subtleties of body language. Those are the things you can't get with social media or online connections.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you can send a video, but it's still not the same.
No,
Because then it's like, oh, well, you've taken the time to push record, make sure that you're sat and you're in frame. And then...
so I think some connections online can be deep. I also think it's a great way for some people to connect when they don't feel as available to when they're in face to face with people, because that requires a lot more vulnerability. Whereas sometimes a digital space can require maybe a lower barrier to entry. Maybe, I'm not sure. I agree. I would prefer to have connections face to face than I would online, but I definitely think there's something to be said about online connections because it does help bring people together. However, it's a warped reality. It's not lived in the real world effectively, in my mind. But there is something to be said about the role of social media and the image in which you put out and the loneliness that can be there. So this is something I've thought about a lot when traveling. As you know me, I'm not on social media a lot. And I don't really post when I go traveling. I just kind of occasional picture that's kind of shit and not edited.
Yeah, or
And
a
people go,
story of you just running.
yeah. Yeah, like I'll be around the world, it'll be me running or in the gym. It wouldn't be anywhere to do with where I'm at.
We might be able to see like a leaf in the background to know that he's not in his local area.
Yeah, palm tree. And you're like, oh, wow. Yeah, but people, when they're traveling, like to post a warped reality, especially sometimes solo travelers, when they are traveling by themselves or on a holiday by themselves, they might share all these pictures to show what a great time they're having, how incredible their reality is. And in reality, they might actually be feeling quite lonely. But maybe we've been taught that that loneliness is lessened if we feel witnessed by other people.
Yeah. I think whenever I've posted things on social media when I've been away, it's been for two reasons. The first one is probably 90% of the reason, and that is that if I post it on my Instagram story, I don't need to individually message everybody in my life, like they can see it. So that means I can enjoy the experience more authentically because I don't have to message 100 people. I have to just put it out on my story.
100 people is optimistic.
Is it?
You have 100 people you'd message.
Hmm?
Damn.
Family, friends, high school bullies.
I have like 7, if that.
I don't believe that. If you post a story, I reckon you're getting 100 views, are you not?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
how many of those views do people actually care?
They're all interested. They wouldn't have clicked on your little ring. if-
I'm curious how many people care. This is my issue with social media, and this is why I don't really post stories. I don't have Twitter. I've never had Twitter.
No, I don't.
Because I don't honestly believe that people care that much.
No, people are just looking for a fight.
People are just looking to tell themselves that their life isn't bad. You know, if they can understand the social norm of the people they sort of hang around with, it makes them feel more comfortable with the decisions they've made. Whereas maybe if they've seen someone that's doing better, then they maybe don't want to see that. But I honestly think people don't care that much. Maybe that's just my negative view.
I was going to say that's very negative for you.
It is, but it is always the one I've had when it comes to social media, which is just people don't care.
The view that I've had is it's always one of optimism. And it's like if I saw, for example, Roman Atwood was somebody I watched a lot as a kid, who was a family vlogger. Started off with a pranks channel, then moved to like a family vlog. And like 10 million subs on each channel, like massive. And whenever he went on a holiday to the Bahamas, And like, I wasn't watching that to compare my life to his. I was watching it. I was happy for him that he was able to go on that holiday. So now whenever I post, I have in my mind like, oh, maybe people who have followed me or know in real life, when I post this, they'll be happy for me that I've been able to have this experience.
I like that. That's a much, like you say, more optimistic. It's a healthier, nicer way to approach social media and to look at the world in general. I think, unfortunately, I'm trying to rewrite my negative thought patterns, which is, oh, no one cares about this. No one wants to see this. As you know, I took a long time to actually share anything about my life with people that did legitimately care about me because I believe they didn't.
Yeah.
So it's something I'm learning, of course. But yeah, when it comes to social media and people traveling, sometimes people can feel inherently lonely and they feel like if they post something, well, it doesn't even have to be limited to traveling. When it comes to social media, if someone is lonely and they post something, it might help them feel more connected with people. Do you perceive that as a positive or negative? Or is it just really neutral? It is just what it is. That person might be looking for validation that they're not lonely.
I think it's so dependent on the individual, and not only the individual, but just how they're feeling that day. Like, I think people post for different reasons. Like, if I post, it's just because I'm more concerned about my consistency than anything else. Like, I'm not posting because I want to post. I'm not posting because I don't want to post. It just needs to get done.
Yeah, I suppose it depends on the mindset, doesn't it? If that person is posting because that's their only way to get connection and they're not seeking out any other ways to maybe better their lives or validate themselves or improve on any self-worth, then that's where I'd say it might be an issue. If it is someone that just legitimately maybe wants to share what they're doing and the views, the likes, the comments are all irrelevant, then maybe that's the healthiest way to approach it. I don't know. I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's a tough thing because the whole culture on social media is if you're not getting views, then why did you post? It's like, that's not...
Do you think that's true on a personal level?
No.
Okay.
Well, I don't think it matters on a personal level. If you're running social media as your business, it's a factor because you want to increase your reach. But if you're posting about your personal life, the main target of that just being like when I go on holiday, making sure that I don't have to send those 100 messages, I can just put it on my story. That's why I do it. It's also why I don't really post on my story now, because nobody wants to see, oh, we woke up this morning, he ate poached eggs, and then he just sat at his desk or sat at the podcast desk for 4 to 10 hours. Like, nobody cares. It's not interesting. But maybe that is the post that everyone needs.
Maybe people need to see what reality looks like for the vast majority of people. Yeah, maybe people need to stop posting a warped reality of what their life actually is. But one thing I'm curious of is social media, I think, in its ideas are great because it wants to bring people together. The idea of Instagram, if you removed any features of seeing what other people that are outside your circle do, you follow someone, you can see you're up to date with their life. That's awesome. If it's people you know and you legitimately care about, that's awesome. That's such a cool way to connect with people. But then I think when it gets to people you don't know, passive scrolling, removing you from the actual physical world, that's when I think when it gets dangerous. And that's when it can lead to isolation and loneliness.
Yeah.
So I suppose it's how do people use social media to their advantage? Do they use it just to honestly connect with people?
Yeah,
Do they use it to reinforce the loneliness they're feeling?
The very idea of being sat scrolling on your phone is a lonely idea, because you could be like, how many times when I was living at my mum's were me and my 2 brothers in the house and we'd all be on our phones in different rooms. It's like we could just sit in the same room and have a conversation.
How wild is that?
Like,
that's normal life now. That people will be in the same room and so far away from each other.
Yeah, literally looking at different worlds at the same time and immersed as well, not just like still keeping your head up.
And then people get angry when you pull them out of that, or you want to have a conversation with them like, dude, I was doing something.
Yeah. What were you doing?
What were you doing? And how is it bringing value to your life?
Yeah.
Similar to what we said on a previous episode, which is if you are using social media to a benefit, trying to learn something, trying to engage meaningfully with a topic, maybe that's a good use of your time. But if you're just sitting and scrolling about a little marble run like I do, love the marbles, you might be wasting your time.
Yeah. I almost see, like, for me, social media is, like, if I'm on Instagram, I'm studying, is how I view it, rather than I'm there for entertainment or there for anything else.
But do you think that's because you use social media as your primary source of income? Because you are using social media, YouTube, to generate income and make a living, you have to look at social media slightly differently to the average. You know, because most people, I think, just have a consumer mindset. You know, they just want to take what they can.
Yeah, maybe. But, like, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm studying the content always. I mean, I always have that in the back of my head because of the nature of my job. But, like, things like watching Mike Israel, it's like I'm studying how to train. I'm studying whatever he's talking about this.
But then you could argue the best way to study how to train is to just go and do it.
Yeah, for sure. You can argue that.
And you'd be right. But I suppose there's something to be said of loneliness versus solitude. So naturally, social media does come into this, and that's the main arrowhead of this discussion. But there's solitude versus loneliness. Loneliness is the pain of being alone, whereas solitude is the depth of being alone without abandoning yourself. Have you ever experienced solitude?
Yeah.
Okay. How does it feel for you?
Not solitude as in I didn't have people around me, but just that I felt isolated, if that makes sense. So I haven't felt
No,
solitude
explain.
as in I've been in the middle of the woods on my own for weeks on end. That's solitude.
Is that what you mean by solitude?
I think that's the general meaning. Like, solitude means by definition you're not around other people, whereas I've always been around other people.
Okay, so I'm talking
But
about solitude.
internally,
Yes,
feeling
internal
isolated.
solitude.
Yeah, I think.
No, because I think there's a difference between isolation and solitude.
Do you?
Yes. When it comes to internal dialogues and personal development, isolation is you're locking yourself away. Isolation is you're being forced into your own sense of loneliness. So I put loneliness in the same category. Whereas solitude, I think, is a choice. You're choosing to be with yourself and sitting without judgment. You're choosing to embrace this feeling. And it's not of nothingness, but it's very much, like I'd say someone that meditates sits in solitude. I think solitude implies peace. That's my thoughts on it. But please correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, I don't.
Or if you disagree.
Yeah, I wouldn't say you're wrong because that's your view. Yeah, I've not thought about it like that. So in using your definition, I would say the only times I've been in solitude is been when I'm meditating, because it's got that slightly positive twist.
So I've just come up here. Solitude is intentional and nourishing, whereas isolation is unwanted and draining and potentially harming for mental and physical health. Solitude is voluntary and positive. You choose to be alone. The purpose is self-reflection, creativity, charging, connecting with yourself. The feeling is peaceful, content, present, restored. Isolation is involuntary, negative. You feel separated from others, often against your will, often a symptom of deeper issues like shame, depression, leading to withdrawal, feeling lonely, empty, drained, disconnected, anxious, depressed.
So I'd say I felt isolated then when, at the end of my last breakup, that, was out of my control. I moved out of the area where I was around people, which sort of felt like it didn't feel like a choice because I couldn't really be at my dad's house because I had so many associated memories. So I just ran away from that and went to my mum's. So then that drove a wedge between me and my dad because I wasn't going there to see him. And like that was the only way really I could see him. So that felt quite isolating. But solitude, yeah, maybe only when I'm meditating then. Like I can't think of a time I've ever deliberately estranged myself so that
What about when you're in a flow state working?
Yeah, if that counts.
Why wouldn't it?
Yeah. I suppose I sit on my own for 14 hours a day, just doing my thing.
That's the choice. Is I suppose with work for you, I know the duality you have with it. Sometimes it can be extremely beneficial. Sometimes you sit there pulling your hair out.
Yeah. Like the
feel like-
4.5 hours yesterday I did in this episode, or the previous episode.
Yeah. Whereas if it's meant with a positive outcome and you are sitting there and trying to embrace the development that comes with that solitude, then I think it's overtly positive. However, my question for you is, and I suppose for anyone listening, is do you spend more time in solitude or more time in disconnection, in loneliness, in isolation?
Probably 50-50, realistically. Like this month has been great because it's not like my normal months, because we're just podcasting all the time. It's really good. I actually have a relative social life. Like I'm talking to people outside of my girlfriend, like wild.
Mind blowing.
And when I say people, I mean you. There's
The
no
pressure on me. Fucking hell.
But yeah, my normal life is if I'm not working, I'm feeling like I'm working towards a goal, I'm literally sat on the sofa doing nothing. So of those two worlds, I'd rather be working. So it's almost been designed to where work is the only option, which I love, because it means that I have no option but to make progress.
I'm going to argue and say that progress can be made in solitude. The reason I say that is, with my answer to this question is, I think I've been avoiding solitude. I've been avoiding productive time alone. And when I have been alone, rather than using it usefully, I've fallen off of my meditative practices. I've fallen off with, not fallen off with consistent reading, but I've lent into consistent scrolling and pacifying myself, rather than going, you know what, I've got half an hour here. I could just spend 10 minutes of that meditating and find some solitude, find some peace. So I think I've been playing with that line. I think I need to try and find more solitude in my life. And I'm excited to, because I know the benefits that solitude can bring. And I also think that identity and growth and development is formed in the gaps that we allow. You know, it's much the same, I'm going to use a poor analogy, but fuck it, I've gone for it, is when you go to the gym, your muscles recover when you rest. Similar, if you're allowing your time in solitude to blossom, likely your identity is going to form, your development's going to get stronger and more progressive. Those empty spaces were not wasted time. They're just allowing your thoughts and values to kind of settle. And I wonder the effect of removing that solitude and replacing it with busyness or scrolling or social media, because really social media is just, again, pacifying us.
Yeah.
Because I know that's the role it plays in my life. It does just keep me numb, comfortably numb. But I suppose it's difficult, isn't it? But on the internet, there are connection tools that are there to increase connection, but the internet will amplify what you bring to it. So it doesn't give you connection, it will replicate your internal state back to you. So if you arrive regulated, curious, and grounded, social media will feel expansive, like what you've said before. If your goal is to learn from social media, likely that's where you'll find you're investing your energy. Whereas if you arrive lonely, anxious, seeking validation, it will likely deepen that ache. So what is, on average, your state of mind when you approach social media?
I think I have two. It's either I'm there to study or I'm there because I finished work and I just want to like veg out and watch rubbish. Like watching, just sticking on Family Guy episodes that I've seen 1,000 times. Like I'm not trying to gain anything from that other than just relax and zone out, you know? It would just be if I was going to say when I was on the train coming back from LiveCon, I was like, some of the journeys I was there and I was studying, Like I think when I was going there, I was studying, and when I was coming back, I was like just watching rubbish. Just because I've done my work today, you know. I've done my social battery is at negative 5,000, and I just need to sort of chill out. It was that sort of thing.
I completely relate to that, and I'm curious if anyone else does. On the days where I'd be in office, so for those of you that don't know, obviously I was employed. I'd work remotely for the majority of the time, but 2 days every 2 weeks I'd have to go to the office, so I'd get the train up to London. It's about a hour and a half, hour 40 train, and then the tube. And I'd stay with my family in London and then come back the next day. The train up, I'm reading, I'm like podcasting, I'm so like, yes, life is great. And on the way back, I'm so drained, whether it's all the social interaction, whether it's the work, whether it's London because it's so loud and busy in comparison to where we live and where I would like to live. That on the way back, I'm scrolling. And I hate it. And literally, honest to God, it's like an hour I'm sitting there scrolling. I hate it. So when I ask...
But why do you judge yourself so much for that?
Because it's wasted time. It's not beneficial and I lose myself in it. It doesn't make me feel good. You know, I don't leave social media going, oh, I feel refreshed. I feel good. I feel like that was a positive use of time. I feel like I've just wasted time.
But you're doing it as a source of entertainment and zoning out rather than doing it with a purpose of...
But is it good to be able to constantly get that entertainment when we need it?
I think so.
Because all I'm doing is I'm hardwiring my brain to expect immediate dopamine, to expect immediate gratification.
But are you hardwiring your brain for that when you watch an episode of Family Guy?
I rarely watch TV, to be honest. I'm rarely watching TV. The biggest problem in my life is scrolling. I know that's not a bad problem to have. But it is. Like, I pacify myself. I numb myself with scrolling. If I spent that train back reading, I'd be allowing my nervous system to rest and recover. I'd be likely learning something new or processing what I've learned that day. I'd be calming myself down. I'd be broadening my creativity. You know, I'm reading Lord of the Rings at the moment. Love it, man. It's
that's
awesome.
That's an undertaking.
I'm so like invested in it because it's so creative. I'm not a quick reader at all, but this is making me feel like a slow reader because I'm really taking it in. Same when I read 1984 by George Orwell. Again, really great book, but because it's so insightful and so descriptive and so deep, I had to take my time with it. But that makes a profound impact on my life rather than sitting and scrolling. Again, I can't tell you what I've sat and scrolled for that last hour. I can tell you I've probably watched something to do with NFL. I've probably watched something to do with surfing and snowboarding. Beyond that, I don't really know. Whereas I can tell you what the last chapter was that I read in Lord of the Rings. You know, scrolling for me has a profound negative impact on my life, and it makes me feel more isolated. It's where I start feeling like I'm comparing my life to other people. It's where I start questioning whether my life choices are correct. It's where I start questioning my values because I'm bombarded with external stimulus. It removes me from the present moment. That's what I hate about it.
But if you're on a train on the way back, I think it's understandable if you don't want to be there in the present moment because you just look at... Also, trains, just little sidebar here, right? Forwards and backwards. Yeah. Only two options, right? Why the hell am I going like this on a train?
Because it shakes.
But why? It's forward and backwards.
Because it's on the tracks, and the tracks might not be completely level, and there might just be a little bit of a...
It made no sense to me. I was fully expecting this or this. I wasn't expecting this or this.
When was the last time you went on a train before LiveCon?
Like 12... No, more.
You wait till you get on a plane, mate. It shouldn't be anything. It'd just be forwards and backwards.
No, but I understand there's turbulence. Yeah, I understand that. But on a train, yeah. No, I think it maybe... I think 8 or 9 the last time I went on a train.
Seriously?
Oh no, I went on with Erie. We went to Brighton.
Oh, yeah.
Other than that, then it was probably the previous time we went to Brighton. But other than that...
Damn.
Yeah. But I don't need... I've got a car. I've raised above trains. But I've actually turned out I love trains. Not as much as I love Uber, but yeah.
There's a weird sidebar.
Yes, I apologise.
It's a weird
I just
sidebar.
needed to get that out into the world.
It's all right. You love trains.
I think they're convenient. I didn't have to find a parking space. Didn't have to pay the ULEZ.
Do you think seeking connection from a place of emptiness will amplify that emptiness when it comes to social media?
Do I think that
Seeking connection
seeking connection...
when you're coming from a place of emptiness will intensify that lonely feeling whenever it comes to social media?
Yeah, I think you've got to go into it sort of level-headed. But that's advice for real life and social media. It's just the same. It's like if
I like that, man. I'm actually reflecting on that. And immediately in this moment, it's okay, so what's my mindset going into this social media experience? Why am I opening the app?
Yeah.
I like that.
It's difficult though, because quite often it's muscle memory.
Unfortunately, yes.
Which is, it might be good advice. You know, I've got the 4 scroll, then you've got to reset, come out of that scroll hole, and then start a new scroll hole for 4, and then you can move on to the next one. I think maybe on a regular basis, moving where your apps are on your phone.
Yeah, interesting.
Because I know that the bottom middle folder is my social media apps, top left is Instagram, middle is YouTube Studio, then I've got TikTok, then I've got Facebook, then I've got LinkedIn, then I've got Douyin, which is the Chinese TikTok. What else is on there? The other ones I don't really use are the TikTok Studio, and but I know where that is because
Your
I just
thumb
know.
knows, yeah.
So if I was to move even that folder to be on a different page on my phone, it adds an extra swipe that my thing's not used to. I will find myself, whatever app I put where that social media one was, so I should replace it with Duolingo or something. Something
Yeah,
that...
no, it's a really interesting thought, actually, because you're right. It might find that by disrupting the pattern, you find a way to replace it, or by disrupting the pattern, you're getting an opportunity to just jam a wedge in there somehow.
Yeah. Or you could put like a hyperlink or something to like Pornhub or something. Then,
Why is that more beneficial than scrolling?
well, it's not going on social media.
But it's arguably as damaging.
Worse.
Yeah. Also, porn sites are banned in the UK for age verification. You have to sign up for an account, and ultimately, who's signing up for a porn account?
I wasn't giving advice for under 18s.
I mean, fair enough.
Yeah,
I wasn't either.
I'm talking to the audience who we know. You are all business owners who are very successful and have never prioritized yourself. So therefore, you watch this podcast to get some sort of self-development and life coaching.
We'll see if that plays out.
Yeah,
Come episode 70.
We're talking to him now. We can't help who watches.
Well, this is episode 70. If that is you,
Is this really episode 70?
yeah.
My God.
We released 52
Yes.
yesterday. We're on a roll. We're on fire.
Hang on, that must mean I've got how many? 18
Yeah, you have a lot to edit, mate.
in the bank?
Yeah. Do your job better, huh?
I don't have that many in the bank.
We'll look at it after.
I swear I've got 12.
We'll look at it. Maybe I'm wrong. Do you think digital support is real?
Support as in emotional support
Yes.
or tech support?
No. Yeah, okay. Let me...
What you need to do is turn it off and turn it back on again.
Why is this person Indian or Sri Lankan?
It's a thing from Big Bang, you wouldn't understand.
Big Bang Theory sucks. We're not getting into that again. I would have thought you would have assumed and made the link that this is an episode about loneliness and social media. So can support for loneliness and social media be real?
Support for people who are feeling loneliness while on social media.
Yes.
Through social media?
Yep.
No, I don't think
You
you
don't
can.
think it can?
No, because you have to be on social media to receive the support. So then it's just the same thing.
I see the point you're making, but
It's
I
like going
definitely
to your drug dealer for advice on how to quit drugs.
Nice analogy. I like that. Okay, so maybe online support to help social media.
So Wikipedia?
Online services such as, consultations with therapists or apps that allow you to manage your scrolling.
Yeah, like BetterHelp,
Yeah,
who I think should sponsor this podcast. I think that would be a really...
reach out to them.
I could, with my CRM. Shout out Soul Prize. Yeah, they... I think that is beneficial. I think it is. I think there's none of the connotations that the individual would have with social media. You're not going to get in that, doom scrolling thing. You're going to have... I think BetterHelp has a chat function where you can just message the therapist at any time. And you can obviously book video calls as well with them. And if you don't like your therapist, you can replace them. Yeah, I think that probably is beneficial.
I think what's great about it is it makes the barrier to entry lower. So I think the hardest barrier to entry for help, support, personal development is the barriers one puts in front of themselves. But it removes other boundaries, like having to go out somewhere to seek advice. Having to go into the physical world. If someone does feel isolated and lonely, that might feel quite daunting and quite scary. Whereas online support makes that barrier to entry lower, that someone can get it from the comfort of their home, where they likely feel more comfortable and able to be more vulnerable and open. It removes features like geography, illness, circumstance. It just helps you find validation, understanding, and relief in that moment as well. It helps give you support where you really need it, because that emotional support doesn't necessarily always require physical proximity. You don't have to always go to a therapist. Like you said, BetterHelp is a great way to find a therapist to support you in the comfort of your own home. It also, I suppose, can help provide some anonymity. I can never get the word.
Animosity?
No.
Anonymity?
That's the one, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, it can. Which can act as an extra layer of protection if you're feeling vulnerable.
Yeah.
I don't know how strict the rules are on signing up for BetterHelp, but you could probably lie about your name. Or get it so your therapist doesn't find out what your name is.
I suppose as well is suggesting that there's not online support is neglecting or disregarding the actual world we live in. We live in an online world now. Not in reality, but
no, we do.
practicality.
If you asked anyone age 35 and under for the 5 things they can't live without, I guarantee social media as a whole or one social media app makes it in.
Really? What are the 5 things you think you can't live without? Ignoring the obvious: food, sleep, water.
Yeah. Guitar.
Okay, nice.
Cornwall.
Okay.
Friends. And then it would be YouTube. And then it would be... I don't know if family comes under friends. Family and friends could be one.
Okay, you put them under one.
And then tennis.
Tennis, nice.
Will probably be my 5. But YouTube's on there. It's like that's all things considered, basically a social media app.
Yeah, interesting.
Like, I can't live without it. It teaches me things. I find it beneficial. It's my entertainment. It's my everything, So it's my income. It's... But I know it wouldn't be income for most people, but it, YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, I'm sure would make it on there.
I like that, man.
What would your 5 be?
Friends and family would
Yeah.
be first. Because I was trying to think, it'd be connection, it'd be vulnerability, but that's friends and family. That's sort of, yeah. Maybe I would say is connection a thing you can put under there as well. It's like a separate thing. Can't live without connection. I need
to
other people, humans. I need to feel like I'm part of a community. That's super important for me.
community.
Community, okay. I'm going to put community on there. Exercise. Not limited to the gym, but exercise. Walks, running, swimming, snowboarding, surfing, whatever it might be. That's in there as well. Travel is obviously going to be in there. That's no shock to anyone. And then the other thing I can't live without, that was the one I was struggling with, was the 5th. But
Google Maps.
Google Maps. Nah, I'm
To be
fine.
fair, that's probably quite helpful.
Nah,
Probably should have prioritised that over my family, but
Out of all the things that are dropping, your family and friends.
I
are the one
can't
who
go and see them if I don't know how to get there.
Yeah, you can.
How?
You just ring them up, be like, "Where'd you live?" And they'll tell you. And
Yeah,
then
that's no use to me if
you
I
go,
don't.
okay,
have a-
well, I live here, and they're like, "Okay, cool." So you just gotta. How do you think people navigated before? They had physical maps.
I would have died if I'd lived in a previous generation.
I tell you what, like, when I drove to Liverpool. I told you I got most of the way without Google Maps because I know the way. You just learn.
How do you just learn without going there first with Google Maps?
Yeah, you go there first, but then
Yeah,
you
but-
start learning the way. But if they didn't have Google Maps, they'd just use a physical map. But okay, Liverpool's here. Okay, I'm here. Okay, so I'd have to get the A27, A23, M23, M25, M40.
I don't know how people remember stuff like that. Like, I know the way to Cornwall,
There you go then.
but it's one road.
Which way do you go? Down the coast road, or do you go?
A27, M27. Then I don't know what the next name of the road is.
Oh,
but
so
it
you go
turns into
coast
another
road.
one. Yeah.
You don't go. So you go past Stonehenge.
We came back M25 way because we went to Cobham, which is your favourite.
Cobham.
But yeah, we did go past Stonehenge.
Yeah. Where everyone just slows down to a piddle, like roll, just to go. Okay, fine.
Yeah, apparently some of them came from Scotland.
What, the rocks?
Yeah, there were some from Wales and there's some from
No,
Scotland.
they're from aliens.
Well, that's a given. But who who put the rocks in Scotland
Aliens.
and Wales to then bring to Stonehenge?
Aliens.
Yeah, exactly.
Aliens.
Well, it's funny how they find time to do that when they spend so much time probing people.
Have you ever been probed?
No comment. Moving on.
That's a
Kazumi.
yes. That's a yes. Everyone, you heard it here first. He's been probed.
I'll be probed regularly.
I regret going down this rabbit hole.
Now, hang on, let's open this can of worms. Sometimes the hairs start. Anyway,
Do you feel genuinely understood online?
no. Just said I
Not
was
after this conversation. Fuck it out.
No, I don't.
Why not?
Because everything I put on social media is just a snapshot of my life. It's what I'm willing for people to see. Even my greatest vulnerabilities, by putting it on social media in my own life, doesn't make it seem real. It's not, you can't truly reflect your life unless you're live streaming 24/7. And nobody does that.
Do you think that's a benefit of social media or a hindrance or just a natural feature?
To be honest, it's a natural feature. Because if we were to have 24/7 streams, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie The Circle.
No.
It's got Emma Watson as the lead actress in it, but it's about an organisation that sets up this, I think it's a social media thing, but it's very cult-like. And they're trying to promote one of their new products, which is you just wear a camera and it live streams 24/7. The only time it turns off is when it can see a toilet, it turns off, and I think you've got 10 minutes to go to the loo, and then
Not long enough.
that's it. Yeah, not long enough. But it basically poses the question of, if we did stream 24/7, what would that do? And they were saying, oh, well, it allows people to live vicariously through you who are otherwise unable. I understand that, so I can see the attraction there. And I suppose we get a glimpse of that, like watching surfing videos. I watch the skimboarding guys. I love skimboarding. I can't just go out and do that. Therefore, I'll watch it to live vicariously. Like, oh yeah, that'd be awesome to do that. But live streaming 24/7 would give you the ups, the downs, the stuff. But the problem is, if your life has a comment section, you're being judged all the time on everything. And yeah, I wonder if it would make people live more honestly, or if it would make people very upset and kill themselves live.
Difficult. Maybe I'm glad that's not an actual reality.
It'd be interesting to try. I'd love to do a month where I'm just live 24/7.
Didn't I Show Speed do that?
Probably. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did a road trip around America. I'd love to do that as well. Road trip around America.
It's awesome. Done it before. Highly recommend. Yeah, well, maybe when we take the show on the road, we can...
I can't wait to do live shows with this. It'd be so good.
It'd be cool.
So much easier than music.
Yeah. I mean, we're only like 4 years off that, so...
Yeah, probably. I still can't believe we've been going 6 months.
Crazy.
That's wild.
Time's flown. But yeah, do you wish you could be more authentic online?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
But I don't know why I'm saying yes.
Interesting.
I think my initial thing is I've got this idea, this grand idea in my head that the more authentic you are, the better the content does. So I'm thinking, from a business standpoint, I'd be raking it in if I could just be more authentic. But then what does it mean to be more authentic? Because I can't be any more authentic than me being the one that's doing the talking to the camera.
Yep.
Like, that is how I was in that moment, and that is filmed.
Yep.
But does it feel authentic to me, I think, is how I'm answering the question, which is, like, I'm probably a lot grumpier than most people online think. Like, I'm probably a lot more boring than a lot of people think. I think people think I'm constantly, like, really excited, and I do definitely go through periods where, like, if I get passionate, like now, I'm like, that's me getting excited, and that's what I look like.
Put your tongue back in your mouth.
Yeah. But I also have periods where I'm just, like, super, super locked in, super, super serious. Like, force myself to be really boring just so I can get work done. And nobody wants to see that. Like, just me going... That's my life most of the time. Like, a bit like I was telling you with that picture where they removed the phone out of people's hands. If you took a snapshot of, like... You removed the walls on everyone's houses and looked at everyone working from home and removed all the computer screens. Everyone is just sat literally doing this all day.
Scary reality.
It's mental, isn't it? Yeah, wild. Do you think, or do you wish you could live more authentically or show...
So I was thinking about this while you were talking. I wasn't listening to you at all. I was wondering whether because I only have Instagram. I have Facebook, but I don't use it's literally for people that I've had for years, and that's about it.
Yeah, it's because you're old. You've got to have Facebook.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah,
You need to get TikTok.
Yeah. No, absolutely
you'll
not.
love it.
I'm not an 8-year-old girl.
8-year-old.
Yeah. 12, sorry.
I haven't seen any 12-year-olds on TikTok.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I'm glad for multiple reasons on that one. Yeah, I was curious. On my Instagram feed, my personal page, I actually don't think... I think it's just a refined reality. I don't think it's an actual reality. I don't think I show how lonely I am on a day-to-day, how boring my life is on a day-to-day. Yeah, I think it's just a little glossed over version of what my life actually looks like, because I think the last thing I posted was when I went to Valencia, all these happy-go-lucky pictures. Great, really great trip. Before that, I think was... I can't even remember. That's how infrequently I post. But everything I post is showing how, like, happy I am, how, like, I'm doing cool things. And in reality, I think I'm quite lonely and quite disconnected at times. And
Do you feel lonely in your day-to-day life?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Why don't you just message?
It's because I think I want to find my person to spend life with. That's where I know it's coming from now. I know I feel very supported with my friends and my family. I know that. But I think that's the next step, and I know that's what I'm looking for.
Go message her.
Who the fuck is this her?
Well, find her. Message
Thanks,
all the hers until you find her.
Thanks, mate.
You've got...
Dating solved by William.
Think of it like leads. All you've got to do is work down the list of leads. Find an old book of yellow pages. Just call every number.
This is awful dating advice.
Or you could get like AI, like a chatbot.
No.
To do it. You could somebody could write that actually. That's a sick idea. You get a chatbot that goes down like all your like understands your hobbies and interests, goes into all the Facebook groups that are around those interests, finds which ones are your preferred sex, then sends them a DM. Which ones return the DM within a week deserve to then proceed to the next stage, which is then basically refines the list down to 100 people, and then once it's got to 100, you message them all individually until you find the one. But you could also do it like geographically, and AI could so do that.
Thanks, Will. You've solved dating.
I'm gonna get my brother to code it.
Okay. Great.
My brother's like a world-class coder. For those of you who don't know, it's crazy. Wonder where he gets it from.
You've solved dating. Yeah, so I don't know how honest my social media presence is. Well,
Is your social media, this is a general question, but I'd also be interested to hear for you. Is your social media your advert for who you are as a person?
I think it's who I want to be. And in reality, isn't that the same for everyone? That would be my general consensus of how other people would answer that, is their social media is likely who they want to be, or who they want other people to perceive them to be.
Yeah. Interesting.
I was pretty happy with that answer.
Yeah, it's a good answer.
Thank you. Do you think we're hardwired for constant connectivity when it comes to social media? Are we, or should we be constantly available for the world to contact us?
Yeah, see, I wrestle with this because before our parents' generation, or even maybe our parents' generation, it was like it wasn't normal to have a phone. So you just go out with your friends and your parents would just expect you home by a certain time. Like they wouldn't know where you are. They wouldn't know if you're on your way back. Wouldn't know if you've been kidnapped. Wouldn't know until the next morning if there was like any reason to call the police.
Well, I think people used to make plans, like through whatever medium it might be, email or
Or
mail,
landline, home phone.
and be like, we'll meet at this coffee shop at this location at this time, and you have no way of knowing whether you're making that journey and the other person's going to be there. You're just assuming. I think it's made people less accountable, social media.
Yeah, because you can just cancel last minute. Can't you?
This is it. Whereas if you knew you had no way of cancelling, you would show up because you would be a dick if you didn't. Yeah, so do you think we are hardwired for constant connectivity, to be constantly available for anyone that needs us?
I think so now, yeah.
You think we are? I don't think we are. I don't think we should be hardwired for it, and I don't think we are. I think our nervous system can't thrive under an environment where we are constantly available, constantly needed. Again, we've touched on it, solitude versus loneliness, but I think we need that element of solitude in our life where we can grow our personality, we can grow our identity, our values, our thoughts without outside noise and input.
Yeah.
Because if we remove all of that noise, it allows our inner voice to get stronger. But if we've constantly got people connecting with us, our phone pinging, it just removes that. And think, it doesn't, if so you have a phone on the table, it removes someone's ability to connect with or be present in the conversation by like 50% or something absurd.
Yeah.
And think, if your phone's in your pocket and it's constantly vibrating, or people have their watches on when they're meeting people, they just go, what? Sorry, what were you saying? I always put mine on Do Not Disturb, my phone and my watch, when I'm with people because I want to be connected with that person.
Yeah. That's why I've got an analog watch.
What's one of them?
I don't know, but I can't read it, so it's just a fashion statement.
It's not even that, really, is it?
No, it's just a band of leather. I just wanted a bit of cow skin on me.
Don't we all? Why is that funny?
Don't we all want cow skin in our bodies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just curious whether people feel the need to make themselves constantly available as well. Is it a heightened self of importance? Is it ego that tells us we need to be constantly available for others? Because in reality, do we?
I wonder how much of it's just FOMO.
What is FOMO for our older listeners?
Fear of missing O.J. Simpson. No, out. Fear of missing out. It's the things that are going on in the world. You don't want to feel like you're the last one to find out about them. It's interesting. As I've become more comfortable with who I am, I found I pick up my phone an awful lot less. And quite often I now leave the house without my phone just because I've forgotten to bring it. Like, I don't check it as...
Why do you think the two are related?
Because I'm okay with being the last person to hear about something. I'm quite happy in my little world. I know what's going on in my world. I know what's happening in the people in my immediate life. And if there's anything outside of that, it doesn't immediately impact me. Therefore, it's not a concern. Like, I haven't posted in our larger friends group chat for months.
That larger one hasn't gone off in months.
No, the lads one.
Oh, that one.
That is my larger one.
Oh,
yeah.
is it? Okay. The larger one, yeah, the lads. Also awful name. I hate it. Always
I
hate
don't.
it.
Who called it that?
Stephen.
Oh, well, there's a surprise.
Yeah, this is it. That I think's dead. I think this friendship group's not dead, but I think it's
Fizzling. I think in a way, I think it's good because it means we're building stronger individual connections.
I agree with that, absolutely. I think the days of maybe large group hanging out are going to get numbered. I also think we should try and do one before I leave, so I'll put that in the group chat after this episode.
Nice.
But
Is that a Brighton thing?
no, I think it's just a yummy thing.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I'm going to talk to them about sponsoring the podcast.
Are you?
Yeah, like I don't have to pay much, like 50 quid a month, 100 quid a month.
I don't think they will pay anything.
Yeah, they would. If I say, look, I've got 400,000 subscribers on this, me and Connor, who are strong, we're avid eaters here. We really like it. We're a strong believer in you as a business owner and the product. And we'd like to talk about Yummy Noodle more on the podcast, and we can make it like we upload twice a week. We can make it a per episode feature where we just talk about Yummy Noodle.
But first, let me tell you about Yummy Noodle.
Yeah.
If you live in the southeast of England, you need to head to Yummy Noodle Bar in the Enterprise Centre in Eastbourne.
But if you just think about like the long-term views of them having that sort of arrangement, like because whether we have 1 million subs or 0 subs, we're still going to eat a Yummy Noodle. So it's a really strong advert.
If you say so.
And 100 quid a month to a restaurant that makes, God knows how much because they are busy all the time.
They weren't busy last night.
Were they not?
No.
What day was it?
Thursday.
Thursday, yeah. That surprises me. Were there a lot of Just Eat orders though?
Yeah, it seemed to be.
Yeah, because Thursday night's the new Friday night, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, because everyone works from home on Friday, so they wake up later.
I've never heard that. Thursday night.
Have you not? Oh, that's been a thing for like 5 years. When I was an accountant, we were all saying, oh yeah, Thursday night's the new Friday, and then Friday you just wake up at 9, start work at 10, knock off at 4.
Wow. I'm missing out.
Yeah. Well, you're not, because you no longer have the issue of weekends or weekdays.
I know. I days. I honestly was like, what day is it today? It's Friday. Okay. Thank you.
I think the only thing that keeps you like tethered to what day it is now is your gym schedule.
Well, even that's not regular like
Oh, yeah,
on
of
days,
course.
is it? It's
Yeah,
3
yeah.
days on, 1 day off. Chris Bumstead did that.
Did he?
Yeah.
So you're going to look like him. Are you going to grow his moustache as well?
Yeah, I am.
Nice. Let me know when
I
you
already
start.
look like Chris Bumstead.
Yeah, obviously, but
So what if the goal isn't to be constantly connected, but to be deeply connected and comfortably alone? Maybe we've lost sight of that. Maybe the goal is to be deeply connected with people on an interpersonal level, face to face. You can meet up, you can go to Yummy Noodle Bar, and you can have a deep conversation with like, you can go to Yummy Noodle Bar, have a discussion with people, feel deeply connected with them face to face. But then when you go home, you feel happy with who you are. Why are you looking at me like that?
I don't know why you laugh.
I dropped a Yummy Noodle in and I made myself laugh. Like, there's a shout out for you, mate.
Yeah, they deserve it. They're a great restaurant. But what was your point? What did you say?
What if the goal isn't to be constantly connected, but to be deeply connected and comfortably alone?
Yeah, that's got to be the goal.
Yeah.
That's
But
obvious.
do you think social media is ruining that goal for
Yes,
us?
I do. I think maybe the top creators are the only ones that are winning in terms of connection.
How so?
Because they just get to live their life, have honest, deep connections with the people in their lives, and maybe other YouTube creators as well, and then post it online. But when you post something, it's like that doesn't change your life. It's like your life is still your life. But everyone else suddenly thinks, oh, I need to live like that. And hang on a second, I need to be in constant contact with all these. Like what they see is.
So you're saying everyone needs to be a content creator is what you're suggesting?
I honestly think it can change everybody's life. You can make content about anything and make it a success. Look at this podcast.
It's not a success yet.
We've got
mate.
1,000 subscribers.
It's a very optimistic. Very optimistic to say we have 1,000 when this goes out mid-Feb, late Feb, maybe March. Very optimistic.
Yeah, well, Keep going. And if we're not, subscribe. And if we are, support us by subscribing.
Yeah. If you have subscribed, subscribe again. Create a second account and subscribe and go to Yummy Noodle Bar.
Post the episode in your family group chat.
But I listen to these dickheads.
Or don't say that. Or just say, I found this really insightful.
Nice. Okay. So what are your key takeaways from the episode?
Make sure if you're ever in East Sussex,
I knew you were going to do that. I knew it.
I'll go to Yummy Noodle. What's the other key takeaway from this episode? So it'd be check out the link in the description to buy Huel, because we like Huel, and the berry flavour of Huel is the nicest. All salted caramel. And then the final one would be sign up to our link down below. You get a free PDF of our 15 most powerful lessons throughout all the podcasts we've done so far.
So what is your actual takeaways when it comes to loneliness and social media?
I think approach social media with a level head. Don't go into it feeling angry. Don't go into it like it's. So it can be a really powerful and a useful tool. It can also be the most destructive tool you could ever use. It can ruin your relationships. It can ruin your perception of life. It can ruin your prospects. Just be careful.
Like that, man. After you've shamelessly plugged all
Everyone
of our
else.
sponsors, you finally focused in. I think mine's just the finding solitude, the difference between solitude and loneliness or isolation. Cultivate solitude, keep it safe, allow it to grow and be nurtured. Don't pacify or numb your loneliness with social media. And loneliness is a good metric to see how you're navigating the world. And also social media is a idealized version of the world.
Yeah.
Those are my takeaways, man.
Nice. It's good.
And also, if you're ever in East Sussex, you should go to Yummy Noodle Bar in the Enterprise Centre in Eastbourne. You should get the Singapore fried noodles. Is my.
And there's a high chance that you'll see us there.
That's actually so true. It's so bad.
If you want to meet us, just hang out there.
Hang out at Yummy Noodle Bar any Sunday afternoon. Chances are we'll be there.
Yeah.
We can't go this Sunday though.
That's fine. Yes. Soph's at work, so we're watching the game.
Are we?
Yeah.
Well, we got a 3-episode day, and
That's going to be a good reward.
it's like a reward.
It's a reward. Are we going to order Yummy Noodle in? They do deliver.
Do they?
Yes.
No.
I'm going to order Yummy Noodle in.
Right. Give us your last word for the episode.
Kangaroos.
Solid.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that was an interesting one, wasn't it?